Should have gone to therapy, episode 3.
What now, bro?
I have to do that now, innit?
Okay, cool.
For the third camera. That's just the way it is. Where the 3 camera angles looks good. You've not seen it yet, have you?
Yeah, I'm eagerly waiting.
Yeah,
on this one.
There's something I've had to fix because it was like a little bit too much cropped on your side.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look bad. You can still see yourself, but I don't like when even the edge of your shoulder is out the frame. You know, it just doesn't sit right for me. So I've tried to fix it this week.
You're trying to crop out the arms. Is that what
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing? Right?
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna do a muscle up soon.
Why do you think that?
Because I nearly flew into the ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, the ceiling is like this much above the bar, innit?
Yeah.
So I went up and I could see like it's one of them plastic light panels.
Yeah.
And it was cracked, so I could see someone's definitely smashed their head into it.
Yeah.
And then I was just when I did my first set of pull-ups, I was like, whoosh,
yeah.
Whoa. I had to like steady on a bit, you know.
Like I told you before, I think you're close.
It's
obviously
just
we tried to get
weird turn.
It's the grip, the overhand grip that you have to just. It takes time with these things, right? Because it's a skill to be able to do a muscle up. Like, and you have to learn the technique of executing that skill. So there's elements to that skill that it will take time for you to adjust to it.
It's taking better time, bro.
But you also have to practice it enough, and that's the thing. And obviously, I haven't really incorporated exercises for you to kind of practice those specific elements of the skill.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can get you can just get a muscle up off of just like pure strength, right? Off of just pure pulling strength. So that's the foundation.
Yeah, so the way I imagine doing that is pulling myself so far up the bar.
Yeah.
So fast that my hands go so like above it. So that I just go.
Exactly.
And just catch it like that.
Exactly.
Rather than having to push, I pull so much.
Yeah.
I just fly above the bar basically.
Exactly. So if you have like
that much strength,
that much pulling strength, which it doesn't really take that, like you don't need to go, waist to bar to do that transition. You can just go just chest above bar, and then you can easily allows you to do that transition.
Yeah.
So that's why obviously with your training, like from a coach perspective, I'm working on the foundation of you just improving your pulling strength. So you have to improve your pulling strength and sort of your control of the pull-ups, and then the next step is like improve the explosiveness of it as well. So if you get that foundation down, that overhand grip where you improve your wrist mobility, like that would just come over time, and you could just start tweaking that aspect. You could start doing
I can do
accessories. Yeah, you can start doing accessories for that aspect of things as well.
But I don't need that to do a muscle up.
Nah, you don't need that to do a muscle up.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but like I said, we tried to get you to do it. Remember when you came to my gym?
Yeah, why are you making that face?
What face, bro? It's my thinking face.
I've got videos.
Yeah, so we tried to get you to do it, and obviously it wasn't successful that day. But
there's nothing wrong with that.
There was nothing wrong with that at all, and
so
it made me.
If there's nothing wrong with that, why are you making that face then?
What face did I make, bro?
That one.
What, smiling?
Yeah. Why smiling about it?
I can't smile.
But you're like, remember when you came to my gym? Remember? I know what you're doing.
All I was gonna say is it made me also like rethink like some of my coaching cues as well to help you with it. Yeah. So that's where I was going with that. I wasn't taking the piss out of you, bro. Like I'm not like you. I don't just shoot shots whenever I get the chance. Like,
you just did.
How?
By saying that.
What? That you can't do a muscle up?
No, by saying I'm not like you. I don't just shoot shots. That's taking a shot, bro. That's a sly. That's a bitch shot as well. Do you know what someone said to me on the plane the other day?
What?
This was not a crew member. This is a passenger, isn't it?
Yeah.
But long story short, she said, I'm not a fan of sexual assault.
Yeah.
But if I could, to you, I would. That's what she said to me.
Well, is she trying to flirt with you?
That's what she was getting off the plane. That's what she said. I'm not a fan of sexual assault, but if I could, I would to you.
What kind of flirting is that, bro? Like, what the? Right, babe, you need to work on your flirting skills. This is what's going on here. Like.
We started earlier in the flight. I wasn't even working like in the same area that she was sitting in it. So obviously she just seen me like walk past a couple of times, whatever. Then she comes to the back to ask for a drink. I was just there to like, help out and shit. She comes to the back and I was talking to her. She's like, "You are so handsome."
Yeah.
I was like, "Thanks." She's like, "If you weren't gay, I'd be all over you." And part of me, just wanted to go along with it because I thought, yeah, like, let me save myself the hassle. Do you get me? Why are you laughing so hard?
Why'd you give her gay vibes like that?
I said to her, because her friend was with her and her friend went, "He's not gay."
Yeah.
And she went, "Must be gay." And I went, "Hello, do you want to ask me or what?" Like, I was like, so I just went along with it for a minute. I said, "What makes you think I'm gay?" She was like, "Your job." And I said,
yeah,
"All right, fair."
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh, I'm not anyway." She was
Yeah.
like, "You're not?"
Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake of my life. Biggest mistake of my life. I should have just said, "Queer," and just walked off, bro, because, yeah, then she was on to me.
That is hilarious, bro.
She was funny, though. Someone did on a smooth line on me today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was it?
This girl that I know, I don't know if I can put this in. I want to put something.
You just say the line. You don't have to.
This girl that I know, I've got we've done a trip together, and I had a video of her eating tacos with a knife and fork.
Yeah.
So I sent it to her today. It was like a year ago. I sent it to her today, and I was like, "Look, back when you were innocent." And she was like, "I'm still innocent." I said, "Do you still eat tacos with a knife and fork?"
Yeah.
And she said, "I guess we'll have to go for tacos to find out."
Okay, that's good.
I said, "That's a bar."
That's good.
That's a bar.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Even if it wasn't like to flirt.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. That's good. That's good.
That's nice. That's a bar. I'm not really a dater though.
You're not.
I'm a flirter.
I suppose.
I'm a flirter.
Yeah.
I'm a big time flirter.
Yeah. That's why you took notes on the.
Yeah.
Because you don't normally say that.
But I'll say to someone, "Let's go to tacos and find out," and she'll say yeah, and then 2 days before I'll cancel.
Why would you flake though?
Because I'm just. Plans sound great, and she's really nice, and she's cool, and I'd even just chill with her anyway.
Just put it in your calendar.
Calendar, Shmalendar.
And
you said last week that you can put things in your calendar and still not do them. That will be me.
I did say that.
I went through a stage here where I set reminders in my phone. I set reminders in my phone to journal, to stay hydrated, to eat right, to go gym, to just take a minute of your day and just be grateful and look around where I was. You know, I was thinking one of my reminders was, "Where are you in the world right now?" Because obviously I could be anywhere, innit? So just take a minute. I used to see that shit pop up while I'm on my phone and just flick it away, bro.
I did say that.
It used to come up every day.
Yeah.
Bing, I just flick it off.
I did say that. What did I say to it last week? I said something along the lines of, if that motivation, that inner drive isn't there,
you won't do it.
You're not going to do it. So is the inner drive there to see this go or not?
Why, when you say inner drive, it makes it sound like...
I know, it makes it sound...
It's just a mad level of... So then I'd have to be
you're on a hunt to see this girl or not?
Then I have to be like, nah. But that's disrespectful because she's cool and I would like to see her.
But you don't always have to take...
No, like, inner drive.
Look, sometimes the way I speak, right? I speak, like, the way I say things, sometimes, it's not literal, but it's trying to think of a way to describe it. I didn't want to say passionate, but I try to use maybe I use strong words sometimes, right? Rather than, so drive, I'm saying drive, and I think you get scared of that sometimes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'll say these things, but you kind of view it you view it so literally. Yeah. Yeah, but how I'm viewing it is just like, do you want to go and see her or not? That's it. Yeah.
But don't say it in a drive like that.
Just the way I talk, bro. Maybe that's kind of also a how am I trying to, maybe you're not deflecting, but you're don't want to say scared. I'm trying to think of a way that just the best way to just express this.
Find your words, bro.
Yeah. Hold on, the words are coming. Calculate in my head. Let me look. Let me think.
That was good.
So I'm just trying to say that maybe the way you're looking at you're viewing it so literal, right? And I feel like maybe it kind of hits a spot inside you where you're like, oh, do I really want to? You don't want to commit to it in a way.
I don't like committing to anything.
That's the thing. Commitment phobia.
Anything.
Maybe that's what it is.
Phobia is strong.
Commitment issues.
Issues is probably a more accurate description of what.
Yeah. The topic that I wanted to discuss today, right, is networking.
Yeah.
And how we go about networking. How do we find networking opportunities? And when I first said that to you, you were like, oh, you're gonna be doing all the talking, bro, because you look for networking opportunities, events, and you go to events and you try to network with people in the fields, etc., etc. So when I first said that to you, you was like, yeah, you're doing all the talking, and you're just gonna ban at me about it the whole time. Probably what you was thinking, but but what then?
Not far off.
But when you said that, I was just like, bro, like you don't understand the amount of networking you do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Like,
I hadn't thought about it in that
exactly
from that perspective, I guess.
Exactly, and I think because you're so, it comes so natural to you to do it in those environments. You don't even view it as networking. You just view it as part of what you do.
Yeah.
Right, but obviously some people, it doesn't come natural to them to be sociable in certain environments, so they struggle to understand how to make connections with different people and how to socialize with different people. Mm-hmm. But your job, like you as a flight attendant, you're meeting new crew members every single flight. Like 80% of the people that you fly with,
probably minimum.
Yeah. Are new.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro. Like, talk me through like
that's networking.
I
didn't think about it because when you said networking, obviously you go to more like networking events from like a business perspective, if you want.
Yeah.
So that's how I thought. I've never really been to anything like that. Ever.
But networking, how I see it.
That's when you said, well, now you pushed me to think on a deeper level, and then you were like, oh, you network by meeting new people.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, then I'll do that every day.
Yeah. You can network for business reasons. You can network for career. You can network for social reasons.
Yeah.
But that skill of networking translates to all those three different areas. Mm. So I know you was mentioned, like you were trying to say that you kind of maybe have, you don't know how to approach like meeting people in sort of the field of like video editing.
Yeah.
And just like production and social, like producing like content and stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, I was just trying to think how I was looking at it. Like what you do on a day-to-day basis is the same thing that you do when you're in those environments. Because what I've noticed as well, when it comes with networking, if you try to come to people on like a super professional vibe, because you can go to some networking events and people are like, oh, my experience is this, my experience is that.
Yeah.
Bro, you kind of just seem like, bro, are you even human? You know what I'm saying? Like, like where's your personality?
You're just here to
you know?
What?
Exactly. Exactly. But and that's the thing I feel like a lot of people lack, and even myself I've lacked as well, in terms of just like showing your actual personality in those environments, because that's how you're going to make better connections.
Yeah.
And be able to network with the people that you actually will get on with. So, like, you're doing a lot of networking, bro.
I guess, I just hadn't really thought of it like that, but I just maybe need to channel my networking skills.
Yeah.
To use them for good instead of evil, I guess. That's the way I'd say it.
Just getting everyone drunk, that's it.
Yeah, because I think it
and
just...
being a menace.
It comes from being a promoter, I think.
I was going to go there as well.
That taught me how to talk to people, because if I didn't... My first day as a promoter, Hench gave me a book and said, sell the tickets, come back. You get 50p for every ticket you sell.
Yeah.
So how am I going to sell these tickets? I had to go and knock on people's doors. Hey, just moved in that day to uni, to the halls. I'm going around knocking on my neighbours' doors. Hey, what's up? You going out tonight? I'm going to have pre-drinks. Do you want to come? Yeah. Yeah, cool. Where are you going to go? I'm going to go to the SU. If you need a ticket, I've got one in it. So
yeah, just
come for pre-drinks. So I just had the pre-drinks on the first night. And then we just went from there, really.
Yeah, and I
think that just stems through to now. Because I'm like, right, guys, we're going to go out. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But yeah, still, I need to use it for maybe better things. Is where I'm going with this, because that's maybe all I've used it for.
And I'm trying to say that you shouldn't like shy away, because you're not doing that anyways in terms of shying away from going into environments where like people in the field of like content creation. And
I think I that's what I was about to say though. I think I am, because I do it on a social aspect of let's go out and have fun. I know how to create a fun atmosphere, but that's very much my comfort zone. So especially with people that maybe wouldn't make those plans, I can get them to come out and have fun. I remember one guy, this is a funny story, bro, but I remember at DMU I was promoting once, and we were selling tickets, and there was these two guys, and I just went up to them. I think he was autistic in it. So I was like, "Hey guys, you okay?" And he was like, "Hello, my name's James," like that. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, hi James, you alright?" Like talking to him. I was like, "You going out tonight?" And he was like, "I don't live around here. I live an hour away." And he had to basically bell his mum, to see like
if he can go out.
Can he come out?
Yeah.
There was another guy that he was with, and he was like, "I'm not going out. I'm not. I don't want to." So I was like, "Fair enough." He was like, "I'm gonna go home after this." I was like, "Fair enough." And this James Donny was like, I don't know who I'm gonna go out with." So I was like, "Look, we're gonna go around the halls and sell tickets. So if you want to come with us, we'll find you some friends in it." He was a fresher in it, so I was like, "You're not gonna find many friends living at home. So come with us now around halls. We're selling some tickets. I'll look after you, and then if you find someone that you like, let me know and I'll do the intro."
All right.
So we're walking around the halls here in Liberty.
Oh, did you hook James up with his first?
No, not with a girl, not with a girl.
I was about to say.
But we were just selling tickets, and he's bare quiet. He's just standing at the back like this, and I'm checking in. I'm like, "Anyone yet?" And he's like, "No one." Yeah. And we get to this door and I knock on the door, and this guy just answers the door in a t-shirt with a duck on it.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy went, "This one! This one!" I was like, what? He was like, "I want to hang out with this one." I said, "Fuck it, all right." I said, "Mate, this is James, blah, blah."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, cool, James. Come back for pre-drinks at like 8 o'clock.
Bro, how fucking sick is that, bro?
But I don't know if they ever went out. But the
duck
t-shirt had James hooked, boy.
Bro, even still.
Shout out, James.
Like, that shows your ability just to network with everyone, bro.
Yeah, and I hadn't thought that until just now, thinking about being in my comfort zone and creating a fun atmosphere. But if you put me in a space full of podcasters, I'd have no idea what I was talking about, and therefore I would not say as much as I normally would in a conversation. Maybe a fear of this guy don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. But bro, you managed to think on your feet. In certain situations, bro, I would have met James. I would have, brother. Shit. Oh God.
At the time.
Oh, got a clock off. You know what I mean? Like that's. I would have probably done something like that, because I would have just been like, oh, can't be asked to like just introduce people and do all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, and I wouldn't do that job in the first place.
Yeah,
you get me? Like that's not me. So your ability to do that. And I don't think you should shy away from like people in that space, because when you think about it, that space is the creative space. All right, these people won't be like the professional people, anyways.
Yeah,
like no disrespect, but in terms of like they'll probably be more laid back.
What do you mean, like podcast?
They won't be maybe not professional, corporate.
Who are you talking about?
Like if you were to go to like events with like content creators and
they're creatives.
Yeah, so professional is the wrong word.
Corporate.
They won't be corporate.
Yeah.
So they won't be the stereotypical corporate person where you have to feel as if you have to,
hello, nice to meet you.
Handshake, talk about business and talk about fucking data and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I could never.
So,
but again, it's just because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You'd be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And content creation is, people are just creating content based on
But you'd also be able to do that.
Do what?
Go to that sort of networking event.
Yeah, probably. I suppose. I
don't think I'd even be able to do that one or that one. I think the creative one, I'd still be shy in the creative one, because I think even now my Instagram bio is wannabe content creator.
Is it?
I'm half in, half. I'm kind of.
Yeah, I feel like
I still have that attitude a little bit, because
well, you're not wannabe because you're doing it. You're doing it, bro. There isn't any, like, in the world of content creation.
I don't know.
There isn't
content creator. It just kind of gives me the ick a little bit as well.
But you can't call yourself a wannabe doctor. Do you get what I'm saying? like let's put in that profession.
Yeah,
to be a doctor,
they're called dentists.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you need to go to medical school to be a dentist?
Yeah, they'll make the argument that actually we go to school for longer than doctors.
I've heard that before, actually.
Yeah.
I've heard that. But you can be like, they could probably like practicing doctor, practicing dentist or whatever. But to be a doctor, right, you have to get a PhD, you know what I mean? And you have to, like, that's how you get the doctor, I think.
Yeah, doctorate.
Mistake me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But to be a content creator, you just need to put out content. Which is what you do.
Everyone in their fucking African grey and their fucking cute dog is a content creator. Then.
Yes, but the difference is being able to monetize on that, being able to being good at it as well. So you might want to put I want to be good content creator, but but you're a content creator, bro. Not a wannabe.
I just don't think I'd be able to hold my own at one of those events.
I feel like you.
I can hold my own in most situations, but again, when I know that everyone's come there for this. In my mind, I think I just need to go to one of these events.
Yeah, but that's also
in my mind. I've never been to one, so I don't know
that's
that I
the
won't
thing.
be able to hold my own. It's just like preconceived notions, I guess, of what these events will be like.
Yeah.
And really, I have no idea. So I don't even know what I would be like in one of these events. So fuck everything I've just said over the last 5 minutes.
I was about to, like, first of all, fuck the negative thought process.
Correct.
You know, in terms of
I was being a bitch.
Yeah, bitch boy. Second of all, from my experience of going to these like events like that, where I'm literally looking for opportunities of networking events to go to, and I'm rocking up there on my ones, not knowing anyone. Initially, when you're going to your first 2 or 3, bro, you're like, do you even talk to anyone?
I know I just stand there like,
yeah,
hello.
And do you know what? And that's fine. Like, that's fine. The fact that you're just there physically.
I would never go back if that happens to me. If I went there, no one spoke to me, and I was just like, everyone's chatting. I was like, hi, what's your name? Oh.
Yeah.
And someone done that. Oh, sorry, bro, I got to check out. To me, I'm never going outside.
Yeah,
again.
do you know, I wasn't that bad. I didn't just stand there like a fucking lamppost. But
did you go up to people and
of course,
say, like, hi?
Yeah.
See, I know how to approach people, so I don't know why I'm
exactly. It's the same thing you do.
I'm so good at talking to
bro,
people.
It's the same thing you do every day.
I don't know why I'm saying, like, because all I do to people all day is go, hello.
Exactly.
Hello. Hi, you okay? How are you doing? That's all I do all day.
And I've seen you.
I don't know why I'm thinking I wouldn't be able to do it.
I've seen you at work, right? I've seen you in action at work, and you're just able to like strike up conversation with any passenger on a plane.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're also able to insert humor into that as well. So that's like,
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm thinking. I asked you, like, what do you say? What do you say? I know what to say. But I don't know. I still think I'd get there. If I rocked up with you, I'd be like, no, don't. Stay here. Let's go together. I know I would.
But I think that's the. So I feel like you maybe like you're because you find that space so comfortable. Like that's just you're just in that space, right? But you have to push yourself outside of your comfort zone in terms of your environment. But at the same time, you have to think about it's the same skills that you're using.
Of course, it is, yeah.
Exactly. So it shouldn't be any different.
No.
I'm glad you realised that.
It feels really different.
It feels different, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And I was trying to say before, like my first few, I didn't just stand there and not talk to anyone. Like I engaged in conversations with people, but I wasn't fully just being myself. I was still kind of maybe because it was just like an environment that I'm not used to.
I think that's important in any social situation. I'm never myself straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never even that loud. I always take 5 or 10 to just gauge the personality types. When I'm at work, that is, especially. When I'm not at work, I'll just do what I want. And if you don't like it, lump it.
Yeah.
But when I'm at work, I take a minute to like gauge what kind of day it's going to be, what the higher ups are like, and the because they set the tone in it, really. So I can't be a clown if they're on job.
Mm-hmm.
And want, so then I have to compose myself. But either way, you just have to adapt to the situation. And that's so I know that I'd be able to
do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what I'm thinking.
You just do the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then over time, you just get used to it. Like, so the last event I went to, it was, so I came across the event on Eventbrite. I just typed in freaking fitness coaching / fitness management. There was one of those searches and I came across this event and said, an event management in the fitness industry. All right, that was the event.
What was it called?
Management in the fitness industry. Management, yeah, or like management in fitness.
Yeah, okay.
So I was like, this kind of ties in quite well with, my experience, what I'm trying to do, what I'm currently doing. So this should be interesting. So you look through the event details and it was said, it's structured in a way where you start off with a workout and then after the workout there's a talk like with a few panelists, etc., etc. So I rocked up to the event and joined the workout. At first, when I rocked up at the event itself, like, it felt as if obviously people knew each other already, right? But I'm coming in here not knowing anyone, right? I went with my girl, so
you already got someone there?
Yeah, but I've been to these events without, like, on my own anyways.
Yeah.
Right, but obviously I went with her.
Walking in with your girl automatically makes people want to talk to you because they know straight away. They don't know straight away, but they have the impression straight away that you're not a complete weirdo because you have a partner. Yeah. Do you get what I mean? Like, you still could be like a crazy man. Yeah. But they automatically think, oh, he's with a attractive girl. Yeah. He must be okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the way it works.
I mean, that's just fucking society.
Life. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe that was the case. But
no, I'm sure it wasn't. But it definitely helps your situation. Yeah. If I walk into a bar by myself and I walk in with 4 girls.
It's different.
It's different.
It's different. So yeah, it probably does. It probably does help if you go with someone else. But I don't think that should be the restriction to you not going. Oh yeah. Because like I said, I've been to these events on my own, anyways. Right. But see, join into the workout, and it's a good workout, good session. I was kind of like, I didn't even want to fucking do this workout, anyways, because I was just like. No, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't really want to train that day. But when you get into a workout anyways, like you get into it and then you still try to do well in the workout. You can't really just half-ass it sort of thing. What?
Do you remember when I went to LA and I said I found that hit gym? Yeah. In the class? Yeah. But I nearly threw up. I had to run to the toilet.
And it was that type of workout? Was it a hit workout? I just need to
go to the toilet. Yeah. I just found this nice, cute little gym. I said, you got classes there? I said, yeah, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Yeah. Say no more, I'll be here. Yeah. The instructor had a car crash on the way. So they were like, oh, we're just going to do a random circuit. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I was on like the second last circuit and I was going, I was like, I'm just going to the toilet. I had to run to the bathroom, bro.
So it was a good workout in the end. And then afterwards, obviously, like, there was the panelists asking questions, etc. But what I did in that event, like, I actually saw someone that I followed on Instagram for like a really long time, and like he runs his own coaching business. He's a PT, etc. So I just went up to him and I was like, I followed you on Instagram. You know, I've seen your journey and certain things, because like I remember that he was doing this run for a charity. So I was just like, oh, I've seen your journey. So you're doing this run. How's it going? Blah, blah, blah. So you just strike conversation, like just like normal conversation like that. And that led to him inviting me to another event that he was hosting to celebrate his 5-year anniversary of his fitness business, which led to me going to another event.
I just said I'm going and then cancelled 2 days before.
And the thing is, like, see, that event was on a Thursday, right? Normally I'll go to work on the Thursday. I ended up working from home on that Thursday anyways. But I told him, I was like, oh, I'll try and make the event. But then when I went home and I thought about it, and I was like, this is just a good opportunity to, you know, make sure, like, to be there, just to kind of see how things are, and just to be in that environment. And that event, like, truly did inspire me, like, to kind of like re-motivate me into looking at what my goals are, looking at what I'm trying to achieve, and just being around that environment just helps. And talking to people like-minded people in that environment definitely helps. So
what do you talk about? Coaching?
Yeah, some coaching, some just like normal life shit, some just bit of banter, bit of joke. So it's not a normal conversation. Yeah, just a normal conversation, bro.
I don't know why I'm doing this, bro. I honestly don't know why I'm doing this.
It's just normal conversation. So shout out Lewis Paris if he watches this, if he doesn't. But that was a guy's event that I went to. Yeah, really cool guy as well.
What are you gonna say if he doesn't? And don't shout him out.
Huh?
You said shout out Lewis Paris if he watches, but if he
watches or if he doesn't,
or if he doesn't,
yeah.
If he doesn't, take it back.
Nah. Nah. I still want to kind of maybe keep in contact with him, so
maintain relationships.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well that I think is important as well after going to like networking with people, like following up and maintaining relationships. So I need to hit him up to be fair.
I need to do that as well for the so I can network in a creative space. Actually, I've done it in Jamaica, but again it was in a work environment.
But that's fine.
So there was
and you're lucky. Like I said, your work environment gives you the opportunity to meet new people almost every single time you fly.
That was all thanks to your tripod. I think I'm just going to start taking it with me with the intention of using it, even if I've got no plan to use it.
Yeah.
Because just that question, and then I was like, oh, I'm trying to do X, Y, Z, da. He was like, oh, I run a creative agency.
Yeah.
And that led to obviously talking about potentially going on a set. But then he went on, he did invite me actually, but I was working.
Yeah.
And then he went on holiday, I think.
But that connection is still there. So it's just about just maintaining that relationship and following up. And that's another skill on its own.
Bad at that too.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm a flirt. I'm good at flirting with people. Just not even in like a romantic way, just I flirt.
Social. You've got great social skills. That's what it is.
I'm off.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
See you around.
Good time, not a long time. That's it.
That is what I say that as well. I say that to people. Good
Maybe
time,
you need to start saying good time and a long time. You know, that's commitment issues. That's what it is. Commitment.
Well, I even have commitment issues to myself, like in my life. I even say I want my life to be good time, not long time. Back to networking though.
Yeah.
It led to you going to another event.
Yeah, let me go into another event.
See how I remembered where we were? That's what it's been teaching me. Active listening.
Good.
Listening.
At least you're learning something.
Proper listening. So I remembered where we were.
At least you're learning something.
Wow. Why do you do this?
Do what?
You set a 45-minute timer for the podcast, didn't you?
Yeah.
Why?
Just to know where we're at, how long we've been recording for. You can view it. I can't view anything. You gotta.
You can ask.
I know, but it kind of disrupts the flow sometimes.
So that led to you going, oh, what on a fucking alarm doesn't? What do you mean, bro? I nearly let that go.
I said it. I was like, hope he doesn't pick it up. Hope he doesn't pick it up.
Fuck. Anyway, you meeting Lewis? What's his name?
Lewis Paris.
Lewis Paris.
Yeah.
You said that how much you love him, and then he invited you to another event. So you went to that other event.
Yeah, I went to that other event, and it was more or less the same, but just with more familiar faces now, because the people that I met at the first event, a few of them were there at the other event as well. So you've already got people that, you know, you've already sort of built a bit of a...
You can head nod them.
Exactly, exactly. And just like, you know, continue chatting to them. So that's what really happened. Ended up just speaking to those people as well. And just like I said, just being in that space and being in an environment, because I think sometimes that's what really helps as well. Like just to be in those environments, because you start adjusting to those environments and then you become more comfortable in those environments as well, because it's always going to feel a bit alien to begin with. But as long as you keep it consistent, you keep going, you start adjusting. So yeah, that's the benefit out of networking, I would say. But like I said, I'm not like a separate skill of that is maintaining those relationships, you know.
Okay, so let's just before we go on to maintaining relationships then, for the networking itself, what purpose does it serve you? Like, are you looking to collaborate with these people? So that's another thing for me. With my social networking, it's just to have fun, to have a good day, to create a good vibe, atmosphere, whatever. But with like a professional environment, if I was to go to like a creative space networking, a podcasting networking thing, am I just going to... I mean, let's not do what I'm going for, because you should have your own reason for going. But what are you going to these coaching ones for? Is it to get tips on how to improve as a coach? Is it to collaborate with other coaches? Is it just to tell them your ideas? Or is it to get ideas on how... And if it is to get ideas on, for what?
It's all of the above.
Oh. Okay.
It's all of the above.
At least I'm on the right track.
Yeah, because that's the opportunity that you get out of being in those spaces, right? So because if you're going to these spaces that relates directly to what you're into, and if you want to turn what you're into, like in terms of an interest or a passion, into a career or into just like embedding that into your lifestyle, then all of the things that you mentioned as the benefits that could come out of that ties into it. So it's just recognizing where recognizing where are the instances where you can connect with someone that you can see as potentially collaborating with them in the future, or just hearing someone or seeing someone present something inspiring you to do something, right? Or speaking to someone who then asks you, and you start sharing ideas with them. So you start sharing your ideas with them, and they start sharing ideas back to you.
You're never going to share your best ideas with someone you've just met like that. So you're never going to have a fully open conversation about your ideas. I don't think. Are you?
It depends. Like,
these people are, if they're in your space as a coach, they're your competitors.
Yeah, but so is, like, perhaps they may be competitors, but at the same time, there is enough for all. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not like it's like scarce to become a coach, or to get clients. Like, there is enough out there for everyone. But I think like, things are different now, I would say, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have more clarity in terms of what you're trying to do now. And, maybe there's some gaps in terms of how you're going to execute it, but you have that clarity in terms of this is the overarching goal. And because that's in mind, when you do interact with certain people and you spot those opportunities with that, then you're going to make more of an effort, hopefully, to maintain those relationships. Yeah. Maybe perhaps in the past, because there wasn't that clarity, and I think we've all been there. I've been there as well, where you're just for bants, just for the social life, you just chat to people, and then you're not going to chat to these people ever again because just for one night or a couple of nights, you're just someone to go out with and drink with or whatever. So I think that's the difference now. More
when
so,
you say it like that, it makes me sound like I'm downplaying it, because I've met there's also people that I've built decent
that you've built, of course, and that would naturally happen anyways.
Maintain them, but because it's like there's so many people in such a short space of time that it's hard to maintain them. Yeah. So a lot of them do fall by the wayside, unfortunately. Even the good ones that you think, oh yeah, I would actually see them outside of a working environment. Sometimes you don't even fucking get to, bro. So then it just turns into another.
And I think that stems into loads of different things in terms of just how you maintain those relationships with people. I think it stems into like how organized you are, how you prioritize certain things, how you manage your time. So I think all of that kind of contributes, are variables in terms of like how you maintain a relationship. So that's why I say it's a different kind of skill, because there's one thing just being in the space and just being your natural self and just chat with people, right, and building connection, is another thing being out of that space and then maintaining those relationships is a whole nother skill that I lack on as well, and I'm still trying to develop. So it's
maintaining a relationship.
Yeah, maintaining relationships and staying in contact with people.
Is that something you lack on?
Where the fuck are you going with this?
No, it's genuine.
Oh, maintaining relationships.
No, like, do you lack with maintaining communication with people?
Oh,
what the fuck did you think I was going with?
I don't know.
Oh, stop up. So yeah, you said it's one of the things I lack on, and I was thinking, is it one of the things you lack on?
Maintaining relationships.
Yeah, or like communicating.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, man. It's been a long day, mate. I didn't have a nap like you did, so it's. You
didn't do a night shift like that. Because I don't think I don't know. You talk to your friends. You keep good communication in the group chat. You make active plans. You maintain your networking relationships, or this one.
I'm trying to. Yeah.
Well, you're doing it.
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend. Do you have workmates?
Workmates are different, man. Nah, let's just say no.
Do you not have... See, I might not talk to some people outside of work, but if I see them at work, I'll be able to be like, oh, how's...
Yeah, normal chit-chat, chit-chat. Yeah, that's different, though. That's... Because you're there.
It's networking.
Yeah, it is networking.
To know people. It's knowing what to say in the conversation. It's the same.
You're right, it is the same. It is the same. And the lack of skill to maintain relationships, I'm looking at it from that perspective of when you do make contact with people in a networking event or like in a networking situation. So the reason why I feel like I lack in that skill,
the initial contact.
Right,
okay.
Yeah. Because it's different, obviously, just maintain, like, maybe it's not different because some friends, sometimes you don't always maintain relationships with them. But it's all probably transferable as well. Right? So it's not something that, like, if you do it for friends, you should be able to transferably do it for everything else.
Just where you want to do it.
And it's just understanding, again, like the practicality of how that's done as well. Because I feel like maybe for you probably, and I think for me as well, certain situations you just do it naturally and you don't really understand what the full process that goes into it and the practicalities of it. And if you're able to like understand that, you know that, you become aware of it, and you know that, me doing this is helping the relationship. So I can do the same thing with another relationship, and more than likely it'll probably help that relationship too. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to look at it,
yeah. Anyway, should have gone to therapy, guys.
No, don't cut out like that. I guess there's one more question I wanted before we stop. You said that this week needed to be a good week.
Yeah.
It's Thursday now. How's it been?
I feel like it's been a good week. I think
time management wise.
Yeah, I think the last time we recorded, I think maybe I was under a bit of pressure. Maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed with work deadlines that I was working towards. So obviously I had a bit of a moan in that last conversation, and I probably just like agitated by it as well. And probably being a bit harsh on myself as well at the same time. But I feel like this week has been positive, because with like the work situation that I've had conversations with the relevant people at work to kind of just explain to them how things are progressing and kind of give more realistic targets to aim for.
Were they accepted?
Yeah, they were accepted. And I think I learned as well in terms of like prioritization, because obviously what we're trying to do is we're trying to optimize various different areas of our life. I think the first episode I spoke about social, fitness, career, passion, like all these things, like relationships, family, romantic relationship, friends, all these things. It's a lot, and you can't prioritize all of them at once.
Mm-hmm.
So I think whereas I was looking, and this is actually a conversation I had with someone at the event that I went to, Lewis Paris's event. Someone that she called herself the communication expert. So I was kind of just talking to her about certain things, and then she was like, like, it might not be your time management, but more so your understanding of prioritization, like what to prioritize, because it's impossible to put everything number one. You got to think of what are the core things that need to put number one and work towards, and understand that some things might have to take the back seat.
Yeah.
So whether that be relationship with friends, it might have to take the back seat. Whether that be going to the gym 3 times a week rather than 5 times a week, that might have to take a back seat. So depending on what you feel is of like the number one priority, like that's what you focus on, and then you have to just deprioritize certain other elements.
Work your way down.
Exactly, because
most important things first.
Exactly. So that will relieve the stress of you feeling as if you are failing in all these other aspects, because you've set yourself the realistic goals for them, right? And then it will also kind of empower you to just maybe accelerate your growth even more in the aspects that you are prioritizing. So when you get to the point where you've got that in a good position or a good space, then you can maybe start rejigging your list of prioritization as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like this week is
What has your priority been this week? The work stuff.
Yeah, so the priority was just the work stuff.
You met your expectations on what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah. Getting that in a good place, and like gym wise, I've not like, so my first gym session of the week was yesterday. Normally I would gym, yeah, at least twice. Yeah. So normally I would have gymmed on Monday as well. So gym wise, I understood that, look, I can't really make time for going to the gym and spend an hour and a half or whatever. So, you know, this might have to take a hit this week. And it's fine because, you know, I'm still in good shape. I'm not freaking like...
What? Say it, go on. What?
No, I wasn't going to come for you, bro. Listen, I'm still in good shape. Like I'm still improving in that aspect as well. So it doesn't always have to be like massive improvements, you know, small increments as well. It's going to contribute to it too. Yeah. So, yeah, from that, I think this week's been a good one, man.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
Decent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've been, I feel like you've been in a good space, man.
Yeah, I've been gym twice.
Yeah.
Eating's been alright.
Yeah.
I'll go gym tomorrow. I'll go gym Saturday. I edited episode 2.
So you've done 2 episodes in 1 week.
Yeah, well, that one was last week, but in terms of the days...
Yeah, 2 episodes in 1 week, and that's more than you've done in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
So...
No.
A month and a half, last month and a half.
Maybe we did slow down, didn't we?
Yeah.
I had 3 episodes there that I hadn't edited, which will never get edited now because we're onto the real thing, but...
Yeah.
I think I could have this one edited by the end of this week.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like you've been in a good space this week.
I'm off for the next 2 days.
Because every time I've spoken to you as well, you know, you're listing off the stuff that you're getting done for the day.
Yeah.
You know, it's just...
Well, we said we wanted a good week, so I've just kept that in mind because I didn't want to come on here and say I had a shit week.
And you know, I think that check-in was good as well. The first check-in we had last Monday, was it last Monday when I phoned you in the morning?
Just gone?
No, not this Monday, gone. The previous Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I phoned you in the morning. And I was like, oh, mate, I've got loads of work to do, blah, blah. And I think that, I told you before, I feel like it just enabled me to offload a few things.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I was almost like advising myself as I was speaking to you and triggering you as well in terms of like getting onto you about obviously the editing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then me responding to you saying, "Oh, you got," and I'm saying that to you whilst I'm saying it to myself at the same time.
You say that a lot. You say that a lot of the time when you say stuff to me. You say I'm reflecting on myself most of the time because you're telling yourself, but also the same thing you're telling yourself rings true in my ears as well. Because, so I like it because it makes me do my shit as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was good checking, man. So I think more people should do that, man. Checking.
Have you seen Boxy this week?
Yeah. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Why do you do that every time I ask you a question about your missus?
Do what?
You done that on the last episode.
What?
I said, how was your week by yourself? And you were like, anyway, guys, time to watch it. Why do you do that? Have you done anything fun?
Excuse me. Have we done anything fun?
On a date this weekend?
Yeah, we do loads of things fun, man.
No, are you going on a date this weekend?
No, I'm going to...
Why do you talk about fitness with so much comfortability and then I say your missus and you're like...
What the fuck, bro? Are
you going on a date?
Oh, God. No, we're going to her cousin's...
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. That we should have gone to therapy episode 3.
I tried to wrap it up, bro. I said I'm going to purposely make this awkward. So you wrap it up.
It wasn't awkward. I'm not.
I'm joking.
What are you doing at her cousin's barbecue job?
Thanks for watching, guys.
Come on, mate.
Like,
subscribe, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else? We still haven't got an intro. Bye.
Yeah. Working on it.
Say bye.
Bye.